Today's jobs report shows the labor market remains strong despite rising interest rates.
Historic inflation and rising housing costs.
The middle class is really the unsung hero in the U.S. economy right now.
Can you imagine being the wealthiest country in the world, but still having millions of people suffering? GDP of the United States has passed 26 trillion US dollars. However, current economic trends put in danger millions of families in the country. Households can now afford less food and services for the same amount of money as their purchasing power is dwindling every year. We are witnessing the scariest times for the average family in America, and there is almost no hope for the devastating situation to change in the near future. In this video, we'll have compiled 15 facts that illustrate how the current economic condition drives average American families crazy. But before moving on, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. That way, you'll help the production of future videos. Number 1. Food insecurity. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, almost 14 million American households were food insecure in 2021. The recent data from the U.S. Department of Agriculture showed a preliminary tally of over 42 million Americans, around 12.6% of the nation, participating in the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program in November 2022. In some states, that figure approaches 1 in every 5 residents. The Food Research and Action Center believes this situation may worsen in 2023 because of the SNAP program that helped millions of families ended in February. This action caused a hunger cliff for millions of individuals with low incomes as early as March 2023. But the middle class is also in danger as, according to the Brookings Institution, it depends on a sizable share of the safety net every year. 2. Never-ending high inflation has only exacerbated the condition of the average household. Many people have been affected by surging prices in the past year, causing a strain on their finances. Middle-income families have been hit particularly hard, with many having to reduce their savings or dip into existing ones to make ends meet. As inflation reached a 40-year high of 9.1% in June 2022, according to a survey by financial services company Primerica, 82% of middle-class households have had to cut back on their savings or use their existing savings to compensate for the increased cost of living in the last 3 months of 2022. Recent data has revealed that 92% of Americans are reducing their spending, which supports what retailers such as Walmart, Target, Home Depot, and Best Buy have previously reported as a trend toward cautious consumer spending during the first quarter. 3. Money problems exhaust middle-income families. The 2022 research showed that there's also been a general uptick in financial worries among those whose income falls in the $30,000 to $100,000 range, with 39% of those surveyed expecting to be worse off financially in a year, up from 32% in March and 28% in December 2021. In December 2020, that share was 17%. Gallup reports that financial confidence has decreased among middle-income Americans over the past year, reaching the lowest point in the 2-decade trend. 4. The middle class cannot afford the same lifestyle. A recent report by Primerica revealed that 72% of middle-income families revealed that their earnings are not keeping up with the cost of living. This percentage has increased from 68% in the previous year. The report surveyed households with incomes ranging from $30,000 to $100,000 US dollars. Additionally, 74% of the households surveyed reported that they're unable to save for the future, a significant increase from the 66% reported in the previous year. 5. Retirement savings. When a family cannot plan its long-term future, it could be an extremely stressful endeavor. According to Vanguard, retirees should aim to have 75 to 85% of their regular salary each year during retirement. To achieve this, they recommend saving 12% of 15% of your pay annually. For instance, if you earned $70,000, it would take 5 years of saving 15% of your income to have enough for just 1 year of retirement at a reduced salary. Even after working for 50 years, you would only have enough for 10 years of retirement funds. Unsurprisingly, only 36% of middle-income adults said they could comfortably retire. 6. Preparing for the upcoming recession is a massive problem for middle-class households. According to a survey conducted by Primerica, during the fourth quarter of 2022, 81% of middle-income families reported anticipating a possible recession in 2023. Of this group, 62% are either already taking measures or planning to prepare for such an eventuality. Moreover, middle-income families prefer to get rid of their debt to combat recession. 7. Credit card debt. The Federal Reserve Bank of New York Center for Microeconomic Data today issued its quarterly report on household debt and credit report, showing an increase in total household debt in the first quarter of 2023, increasing by $148 billion to a staggering $17.05 trillion US dollars. According to the latest survey, 37% of people have taken on more credit card debt, which is a 6-point increase compared to the previous poll in June. This percentage is also the highest recorded since the quarterly data tracking began in July 2020. Additionally, 21% of respondents reported making only the minimum payment on their balance each month, the highest percentage ever recorded in the survey's history. 8. The affordability of housing is a significant concern. Housing costs have been steadily increasing, making it challenging for many Americans to find adequate housing. The National Low-Income Housing Coalition states that there isn't a state in the country where a full-time minimum wage worker can afford a 2-bedroom rental apartment at a fair market rent. According to a report published by the National Association of Realtors and Realtor.com, the middle class is most affected by the shortage in the housing market, as there are only about 320,000 listings available that fall within the affordability range of up to $256,000 US dollars for households earning up to $75,000 annually. As a result, middle-income buyers may face intense competition when searching for homes. 9. Unaffordable cars. A vehicle in a middle-class household is a must considering America's way of life and infrastructure. However, the current economic state does not allow middle-income families to own one. Cars are now so expensive that a Bloomberg article says new cars are only for the rich. 10. Skyrocketing mortgage debt. To address inflation, the Federal Reserve has raised interest rates. This has several effects on financial markets, including higher mortgage rates. As a result, monthly payments on houses increase, making them less affordable for many middle-income buyers who struggle to make larger down payments. 11. Rising rent costs definitely put severe constraints on middle-income households. The average monthly rent for all apartment types in the United States increased substantially in 2021. As of February 2023, the average monthly rent for a 2-bedroom apartment in the United States reached $1,320 US dollars, up from $1,282 US dollars a year before. According to Bank of America Institute data, middle-income and younger workers feel the biggest pinch. 12. Student loan. It is common knowledge that the U.S. has the highest student loan rate, but a degree is crucial for the family's wealth. The crisis was unveiled after the pandemic as the students had to resume their tuition fees. About 44.7 million Americans have outstanding student loan debt totaling over $1.86 trillion US dollars. Kaida Flowers, a therapist in Philadelphia, struggles to pay off her student loans despite making $50,000 US dollars a year. They're killing the middle class, said Flowers. Part of the American dream is you go to school, you try to do something to have a better life, but it's just not what it is. 13. Healthcare costs pressure the middle class. In nominal dollars, U.S. healthcare spending totaled $4.3 trillion in 2021, or about $13,000 US dollars per person, an increase of nearly 3% from the previous year. Roughly 40% of adults report going into debt due to medical or dental bills, according to polling data from the Kaiser Family Foundation, a nonprofit focused on health policy research. Additionally, roughly half of Americans say they struggle to afford healthcare costs. A recent national survey conducted by Primerica has revealed that healthcare costs have become the primary concern for middle-income American households, surpassing inflation for the first time since 2021. 14. Childcare costs. Raising children in an economic environment where everything is so expensive is one of the primary challenges for middle-income families in the country. According to the Brookings Institution, it's estimated that the typical middle-income family with 2 children will spend around $310,000 raising a child from birth until they turn 17 years old. 15. Lack of emergency funds. According to a survey by Bankrate, a large number of Americans do not have enough savings to cover 3 months of expenses in case of an emergency. Survey also found that 57% of adults in the United States are not satisfied with their current emergency savings. Out of this group, 33% are extremely uncomfortable, 24% are moderately uncomfortable with their level of emergency savings. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and feel free to share your thoughts on the subject in the comments section below.